Hey guys, obviously we're gonna have a meeting tonight. I'm just gonna give you guys a little brief overview of what I'm looking at the moment. Um, so I'm currently in a Euro AUD trade that I've not posted just because I kind of think that, well, I know what this pair's like, and I have a funny feeling. Obviously, we made this impulsive move up, and the retracement was going to be to one of these kind of few areas here. It's either going to be to this level here or to this level before I think we make an impulsive move to the upside, kind of before we start targeting some previous highs. So I'm currently personally just in this, but I'm happy to take a loss on it. Happy to take a loss on it if I'm not right. Not massive risk on it anyway, so only 15 lots in. So let's just have a look what we're looking at this week. Okay, so managed to nail two really decent trades on Great British Pound, New Zealand dollar last week, and we've kind of broken this higher time frame uptrend. Although I feel like this is a little bit more consolidative. So currently at the moment, I'm just waiting on price to kind of choose which direction it wants to go. I have a feeling it's going to be moving to the upside personally, but we'll see. So we've got this downtrend here, 3 touch points, quite aggressive downtrend, and I'm looking for price really just to break above it, so we can start targeting some highs up here. As I said, this week I'm going to be placing smaller take profits. I think just I've seen the market reverse on me too many times recently, and sometimes you get the big trades, but it's more 50-50. So I'm just looking to see which kind of market structure breaks. Although, we're starting to see early signs that Euro AED is going to move to the upside, and the New Zealand dollar will kind of shortly follow that. So we've also got something similar here on Euro New Zealand dollar. Just looking for a switch in the momentum. Although, so it could continue to trend downwards. I don't, not really sure. I feel like we're stuck in a little bit of a range at the moment. So, you know, we'll see and we'll find out. Right, let's now move on to EURCAD. Followed the trade perfectly last week. Short wiped out this area of liquidity down here, and I think we're going to probably move to the upside now. As I say, if you look at the video, are we now stuck in a range? I feel like we broke into this range, and now we're just going to be stuck in it for a little while. And price is just really choosing what it does. Choosing what it does from here. So I'm just going to be waiting to see if we can get some kind of long position on this. Now the short has kind of taken place. I'm just going to be waiting for that. It's a Great British Pound AUD. Obviously following a strong trend. This sell side liquidity, which I've placed as the take profit target, this level here where sellers are very, very interested, which I placed the take profit at last week, is still in play. So, obviously if we break the downtrend, I'm going to be looking to go down, not target too far, just looking to target these kind of lows here. But price is definitely in the higher time frame in bullish market structure, so we want to be able to find a way to be able to, take advantage of that. What could also happen is we could form head and shoulders, and then we just, price obviously breaks that high time frame trend line and goes down. So until we get the 4-hour close above this level, I'm not too sure. Once we do get the 4-hour close above this level, then I'm going to be interested in just looking for longs, maybe just wiping out this area of liquidity, maybe trying to go a little bit higher to this take profit up here, where, as I say, sellers are extremely interested. We can see that as soon as price tapped into it, sellers just took full control and managed to push to the downside. Also going to be continuing the gold experiment. As you can see, we had a bullish move to the upside, and had this kind of consolidation down, and now we're looking to price is looking to try and break that level. Two considerations to take in place are that we are kind of in this wave to the downside. price did tap into that as a take profit, and now buyers are going to have to give it another go to see if we can break above it. If we do, you're going to be looking at take profits up here, or potentially even all-time highs. So it's just kind of a wait and see game on that. Wait and see what happens. But it seems like, now New York's opened, obviously it's a bank holiday here in the UK, that we're going to start getting some volume in the markets, which will be nice. So yeah, there's a few trades that are here that are starting to kind of look like they're going to pan out over New York. So if you're looking to trade today, I would start looking to get ready for this now. As I say, I'm already kind of in this Euro AUD trade here. Might even go break even at some point soon. It might even go break even at some point soon. We'll see. As I say, I'm just expecting more moves to the upside with it, just because, as I say, we had that big move and price wasn't able to break above this level, so we did need to retrace down somewhere. Could be wrong. So yeah, in terms of setups for the kind of day, that's all I'm really looking at this particular moment in time. German 30, big move to the downside on the tariff news. Trump then decided to reverse the tariffs as per fucking usual, and price then made its way to the upside. So in terms of positions for the day, or immediate positions, this is what I'm looking at. So you guys know from here. I'm going to just give you a quick rundown of New Zealand JPY, which I made a mistake on. Actually ended up losing money on this. Stayed in the trade over the weekend, expecting further downside, and ended up taking a loss on it, which is quite frustrating considering the the amount of money and profit that was in. I think around 7.5, 8 grand at one point, which is why I've seen it happen too many times. My entry system is very, very good. My take profit system, or my take profit, as I've said many times in the past, is to be desired. So something has got to change, because it then leads to poor trading decisions after you see a trade go to zero. And it's just happened many, many times, so shortening the take profit targets as mentioned. But I'm just going to give it a quick review, and I can tell you pretty much where it went wrong. So you can see that we had this kind of like daily trend downwards, and then price did actually move up. It moved quite aggressively. We retested like this kind of key level here, and also this high time frame trend line, and price just moved to the upside where it wiped out this area of liquidity here, this really, really strong level. If we look, in fact, very strong for quite some time. So that's where we were kind of looking. Price came to that level, and then just moved to the downside. Now, the thing that I didn't really take into account with this trade is I thought, okay, cool, we're back into bearish market structure with it. USD is weak. Let's go. And when we we had this this very, very flat minor uptrend going to the upside, and it just broke, and price is really, really struggling at this level. And price finally managed to kind of break below it and come down. Now, I didn't really take this higher time frame trend line into account. I actually took it off. I just wanted to look at the pure price action of this. And unfortunately, price came down, it retapped it as a form of support, then moved to the upside where I got in on the retest. Now, price then obviously made its way down after Trump. You can see this angle of the market here, really, really nice. And price continued to kind of hover on it, where I didn't take my profit. I actually let it run to about here, and then ended up re-entering the trade a little bit higher up, because I was pretty sure on it. 4 hours wasn't closing above it, and then last night it just broke above it after swaps and just moved to the upside and wiped out this area of liquidity. Now, I don't really know what's going to happen next on it. I'm not a massive fan of buys on JPY pairs. I may look into it on NZD JPY because the market structure is nice. CAD JPY, the market structure is also really quite nice for buys as well, but it's very consolidative at the moment because the Canadian dollar is just so weak. So I may start looking into it in buys because it does follow the strategy well, as you can see. You know, 3 trendline hits. Then on the hourly, it came back, retested the high before moving to the upside and wiping out that area of liquidity. But I did get that wrong, so that's basically where I got it wrong. And you know, you can only see it afterwards. Sometimes it is what it is. So it's going to lead. You know, these kind of things happen and have happened many times in the past. So this is why it's going to lead me to taking profits a little bit sooner rather than later, and going for those bigger take profit targets, which, you know, was here. Just really looking at taking profit at the next area of market structure, because as I say, I've just seen it happen so many times now. Leads to poor trade decisions for me afterwards, and so I think, you know, that is really the final part of my system now complete. We've got a system with more entries. We've got, you know, unfortunately it's going to be lower take profit targets, and then it's going to have to be finding a way to work your way back into the trade, which I've managed to do. So I feel like my playbook is now kind of complete. So we'll see moving forward, but you know, we're not going to really be expecting any of these like 10, 15, 20 Rs as much anymore, unless we have impulsive moves to the like downside, like we had on I think it was where was that move? This. We had a really nice trade here on a market structure shift after we saw a very aggressive move down, which ended up being like a 30R, I think. It was here when we had the switch in momentum, and we knew that price was going to consolidate up to one of these levels here, where there was 2 entries that were posted, one here and one here, for a combined 30R, which we managed to get extremely tight stops on. So we may see some more of those, but as I say, nearest area of market structure, not going too high anymore. But yeah, as I say, this is what I'm looking at for the moment, guys. A very short breakdown. If you want to get into them, like EURAUD's already started to play out. Probably add another position on this level if we can break above it, by the way. Yeah, these plays are starting to play out now, so keep an eye on them, and you'll be able to hit some trades today.